Good evening, friends. I've made a video today late night since I saw today that our Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi has made a statement. He says government has no business to be in business, he says. Mr. Modi, you need to understand that why government was in the business of creating PSUs. You need to understand that Pandit Nehru, Indira Gandhi, Lal Bahadur Shastri, Rajiv Gandhi, Manmohan Singh and Vajpayee didn't create PSUs to be in business. They created PSUs to cater to people's needs. In 1947, do you know how many villages were electrified in India? In India, there are nearly 740 districts, 6,000 tehsils, 5,161 small towns and 6.64 lakh villages. Do you know who electrified all these villages, all the 740 districts, 6,000 odd tehsils, taluks, and all those 5,000 odd small towns in this country? When Congress left governance in 2014, you hardly electrified 14,000 villages in this country, and you say, you have brought 100% electrification, which is absolute bullshit. It was Congress which electrified 742 districts. It electrified all the 26, 27 states in this country. 6,000 tehsils and 6,50,000 villages were electrified by the time we left office in 2014. 6,50,000 villages. You hardly electrified 14,000 villages. And even for those villages, from where did you get the power? Did you create power? You just pull the lines from our existing, lines that were there, and you just boast that, that you have given power. Mr. Modi, you have to understand, when India got independence, we were nothing. For everything, we had to electrify this country. We had to bring electrification to nooks and corners of this country. We had to create roads in this country. We had to create highways in this country. We had to create infrastructure in this country. We had to upgrade our railways in this country. Our railways was in narrow gauge. We brought meter gauge, then broad gauge. Do you know when was the biggest broad gauge conversion that happened? It was during Jafar Sharif's time. It was during Congress's time that it happened. You know how many roads that we have created? Who built those infrastructure? Do you know how many hospitals we have created? Or most of the hospitals created in this country were created by us. These are the infrastructure. We didn't create hospitals for business. You are telling government has no business to be in business. Government had business to help people. That is why we created such large infrastructure. How many colleges did we create? Who created all these colleges? Schools, high schools, pre-universities, universities. Who created all these universities? Was it business for us? No, Mr. Modi, it was not business for us. It was fulfilling aspirations of Indians who for centuries were under British. And when British left, they took all our wealth and we had to create India from scratch. Do you know, we had to create all our military. We had to create HAL. We had to create so many infrastructure for military so that we keep our country safe. We had to create dams for our farmers. We had to create irrigation facilities for our farmers. We had to create ports for our farmers. We had to create BPCL, HPCL, ONGC for our people. And today you are hell-bent on selling these and you say that government has no business to be in business. We created those not to be in business, Mr. Modi. We created those infrastructure so that we cater to people's needs. Because at that particular time, no private player would have come and created infrastructure for this country. No private player in the country had enough strength to put money into infrastructure. Today what you are doing is all infrastructure that we have created, you are selling, because you have never created infrastructure. You are selling whatever we have created, and now you give us gyan telling that government has no business to be in business. But Mr. Modi, do private players have business to be in government, to do governance? That is what is happening. Today, private players have business in governance. You say we have government has no business in doing business. No, we congressmen never created all these assets today in this country to be in business. We created to fulfill aspirations of Indians. Who created the shipping infrastructure? Who created all these inland waterways in this country? Who created these huge airports in this country? Who created all this? Today, all the highways, most of the highways, barring few which you have done, all those, you are just modernizing the highways that are already built. You are just modernizing it, and you are making 2 ways into 4 ways and saying that, we have created so much of highways. It's all bullshit, Modi ji. Please understand, before you belittle the other governments which have served this country, please know what you have done. You are just selling what we have created. And you are fooling people by saying that, government has no business to be in business. Government has business to take care of people's aspirations. Government has no business to sell infrastructure already created. Whatever infrastructure we have already created, you have no business to sell it. Now just imagine, you are selling HPCL, you are selling BPCL, you are selling ONGC, all are profit-making organizations. They're giving thousands of crores into your coffers. Today when you sell it, do you know how much pain the previous governments have undergone to create this infrastructure? Today you are just selling it. So what great you are doing for this country? It's a shame, Mr. Modi. You have to understand, selling some assets created by someone is not a mark of a great statesman. Creating assets is a mark of a great statesman. Jai Hind.